channel, ladies and gentlemen. AJ47, Soul Mavericks crew. In today's tutorial, we're going to be doing some free stacks that go up against gravity. These are ones that I have chosen to be relatively easy, that don't require that much technical skill, but you will need to have the basic freezes that are used. So a couple of days ago, I made a tutorial on the free stacks going down, which are the negative part of the freezes, which is easier. So today we're going to go up, which is the positive part. These are the best ones that I feel will get you started and get the ball rolling in the right direction. So have a look. I'll talk you through each and every combo, even the footwork part and the setup. You can obviously flip it. I'd encourage you to flip it, change the shape of the freezes, play with it, go different directions, change the freezes, add more on. Doesn't have to just be two. Pretty much all of these freezes go upwards, but some include some transitions in between, just because I think it's fun and essential to mix it up. Yeah, guys, enjoy the video and I'll see you at the end. So instead of simply going from baby freeze to chair, or chair, whatever you prefer, we can add a little head track in there. It's not really a head track, it's basically just a rotation to head bridge. So you would end up going baby freeze, because everyone's going to end up in a baby freeze at some point in their break-in. Baby freeze, I prefer the gun shape. It's just a lot easier to transition because I get to swing this leg backwards rather than already have it back here. So from the gun shape or the figure four, I'm going to rotate towards this hand, my support hand, which is the hand in front. I'm going to rotate this way into a head bridge. Now the trick is that you've got to keep your feet close to your bum and stay on top of your head. Then you just turn like this. See that? Stay up, turn, and push your head this way. Okay? Obviously, you're going to need a chair freeze and a baby freeze to be able to do it. But it's a nice little addition of just adding a little bit of dynamics, moving from side to side. And even though we're not going up directly, this is a nice one to add into your repertoire. Another easy one, basic. I mean, obviously you will need a rollback, but really, in the grander scheme of things, rolling back to the forearm headstand is really easy. You have to kind of get over the fear factor first. But a good way to sort of get over that is by keeping the arm here, rolling backwards. This is my master hand, by the way. You roll backwards like this and over rotate so your feet come down. All right? When you power over, your feet will come down and you'll be fine. You have to just be strong and keep all of this top half solid. Okay? And then obviously when you start rolling back and you start practicing, you can also make any shape you want. Roll up and then you'll kind of learn how to catch it. You see how I'm balancing it? This was me more playing, but when you roll up, and you want to hit a nice shape, you have to kind of roll up and hit the shape as you get up to the top, okay? So, now let's put that into a combo, right? So I started off in a simple hook, because I like the way, it's a baby freeze again, but a different shape, hook, and I'm going to turn inside myself to baby on my left, and then from here, because I can see you guys, it's really easy for me to bring my hips down, and as I do, I pop like this, and I'll slide through, like so, okay? And when I get to here, it's just the simple fact of rolling up and making a shape and sticking it, okay? Again, a free stack, but using a transition, really easy. Play with it, it won't take you long to get. Okay, so this one is another easy one. This is one of the first transitions I learnt using my freezes when I got into Mavericks, because I didn't even have a proper baby freeze when I got into Mavericks. When I say a proper baby freeze, I mean these kind of freezes. We'll start from the front, again, from the footwork, but I did this one from a CC just to kind of switch it up a little bit. So I went CC underneath, which is a reverse blender, and my shoulder is going to go under like this, okay? So you're basically going from here, underneath. As this hand gets down, my momentum is going, so because I have momentum, I can flick my legs up to here, basically. And as I do that, see now it's too late, but if I flick up at the same time, I'm moving this hand to here like this. So it's going off the shoulder like this. Check it out, watch this hand, the one with the watch. I'll try and do it slow. I'll go up, up. Oh, that's hard, slow. With momentum, it's going to be much easier. See? You can also variate this one using just the shoulder freeze to baby freeze, which is a classic and super important transition to have. And it's a nice transition going upwards, okay? It's good for musicality as well, because there's so much smoothness in this transition that you can delay it or speed it up to fit the music if you want to hit the accent or something, or a particular point in the music, for example. So let's start from the hook this time, because the CC, it adds a lot more moving parts, but if you start from the hook, it has to be your master leg. So master arm, master leg is the hook. Goes around here, you go down and flick up to baby freeze. You see that? So when I flicked up, I'm literally going like that and flicking. So I'm pushing the ground away with this hand and then flicking through the back of my hand to then catch here. It's a really quick flick, but the higher you go, the more time you have to reset your elbow to a baby freeze. Okay, and use your hips as well. Make sure you use your hips, because it just makes everything a lot easier. So again, one more time. Around, under, flick, baby freeze. You see how long I was there before my legs even came into the baby freeze figure 4 gun shape. But that's an essential transition, an easy one. Hopefully you can have fun with that one and play. Next one. Okay, I know some of you are probably sitting there thinking, that's not easy, bro. It isn't, but it is. It's one of the first, what I thought, high level combinations, and it is. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, you're going from your head and just like hitting onto your elbow. Like, I mean, let's call it what it is. It is pretty. It's a dope. It's a dope little freeze combination. But it's not that hard. Like, technically, it's not that hard. Okay, and I'll try and talk you through some of the points. So, the most standout part is the headstand to the elbow. So I'll start there, and then I'll go back and explain like the entrance, because the entrance is up to you. Like, I mean, it's all like you can variate the entrance. Even the shapes of the freezes, you can variate them. So the headstand, it's kind of, you don't need to have a headstand to handstand, but if you can have the understanding of the pop, it's kind of going to help. So bringing the knees down is obviously going to give you power. If you do this, you've got no power. So you're going to bring the knees down and you're going to push up onto your feet, okay? This is your explosive power coming from your hips, all right? You have to kind of squat and do that, all right, to make the shape. Now, the elbow, when I'm popping the legs, at the same time, I'm pushing the hands, all right, and I'm just going boom, like this, boom. So I'm not even moving that far. The distance between the floor and my head is really not that far. And I'm getting most of the power from my hips, but I'm making sure that my elbow is not doing this or anything like this. It's going straight like this, because this feels the most natural. If you do that and then do this will feel much more comfortable for the body. And then the position, the shape that I made, was the L kick. So it's literally just, or the Nike freeze, but with the leg. So I'm pretty much doing this upside down. Okay, and you can practice this in isolation, which goes from here. There's a few options. You can stay looking, like say if I'm looking this way at you guys, I can stay looking at you guys, like so. Also an easier variation might be just going straight with one, what leg is with it? So if I've got my left arm on the floor, I'd have my right leg bent. Let's give that a try. So I'll go from here, I tuck in, and I would end up going straight, 3, 2, 1. You see, and you can kind of stick that a little bit more guaranteed. You have to kind of hit the L kick with the perfect shape, the perfect form to make that work. Another option is the tuck position, which is, I think, a little bit harder for people, because you have to pop and then bring the hips back down to make the tuck successful. So I'll show you what I mean. This is just some ideas when playing with this, because I literally played with all of these, and there was a period when I had this move so on point, it was like boom, and I'd just be there. And then I'd go back to more freezes and go upside down and all that stuff. It just takes practice, like anything. But again, my point is that this is in this tutorial because it's relatively easy. So check it. Tuck version from here, 3, 2, 1, tuck. Okay? So they're not that hard. Obviously I've got a mat, so if you've got a hard wood floor, maybe grab yourself an elbow pad or whatever, or a sweatband. I used to use like the little Nike sweatbands that the tennis players would use, and I would just pull it up to here, and that was enough. So let me talk about catching on the elbow so you don't smack your elbow and injure it. You press your hands through the floor, and if you give yourself an arch like this, and instead of leaning over here, you lean over to the middle like this, if you lean over to the middle, the pressure's here now and not so much on the bone of the elbow. Okay, a little pro tip, because I didn't know that in the beginning. I've got a permanent callus here on my elbow, which I can't get rid of now. So every time I go on my elbow, it really hurts if I don't apply that technique that makes me land here. Okay, all very useful technique, also good for elbow airflare later on down the line. But yeah, oh, the entrance. So the entrance, at the start, I do like a fake monkey swing and switch, because this half position zero preps me to do an outside inwards pretzel, like this, outside inwards, and go straight to the head. And I make a figure four because I like the b-boy shape. And then it's just about completing the shape, completing the move how I showed you. I hope that's useful, guys. Next one. Okay, so this next one, again, another easy one. A little bit more technical, might take you a little bit of time to sort of get the feeling of it, but it's not hard, it's not strenuous, because you get so much lift from the leg and you're already in the position that you need to be from the setup. So I do a baby swipe, which is this, or two-step, which is this. I do one of them, so I face the back, so when I come to the front, I'm facing you guys, which is be my opponent or the audience I'm performing to, or the judges or whatever. So one baby swipe, like this. And then from here, I'm just going to turn around and show you from the front, because you're not going to be able to see with my back to you. So I swing around to the front like this, and I go into what we call a cradle. So this is a cradle, but my momentum is going down. So I'm going straight to a headstand, but in this position. So I go from here, and I go straight to a headstand like this. From here, with that momentum, I switch the legs. And then from here, I kind of readjust my hand a little bit like this. And this leg lifts me up and I push up at the same time. So this is going to come to my lower back like this. But I have to lift up at the same time. 3, 2, 1, lift up. Okay? But technically, I'm looking at you guys. So I'm going to do that one more time, but facing the other way. So you know I'm going to go into a cradle and on my head. Okay? So here's the cradle. This way, onto my head, switch legs. And now I'll probably readjust a little bit, just to here. And 3, 2, 1, push up, stay looking underneath, okay? Looking underneath just makes the shape look a little bit better, and it makes it a little bit more personal. If you've ever been in a battle and someone's done the freeze and they're looking at you with the freeze, it's like a little bit more like, oh, okay, this person's not playing, you know? It's those little details that make all the difference, rather than if he was looking at the floor, where his hands kind of concentrating, thinking about the set, you know? So keep that in mind. Easy one. Next. Alright, so this freeze I found really easy. It's actually, I call this one the high chair. So I call this a high chair. This is basically just squeezing and sliding your head backwards, this way, towards this hand. But at the same time pushing the hand, so it's like you're closing. Imagine if you've got 2 floor slats and you're trying to close the floor slats. That's kind of what it feels like. You do that with the legs and you do that with the arms as well. And you kind of slide backwards a little bit on your head. So obviously you have to push a fair bit with your arms to just glide on your head. But you keep your head in contact with the floor just lightly so there's not so much friction. You don't burn and lose your hair. Depending on the surface of the floor, might not be that fun. Slidey floor, you'll be fine. But the more you push through the arms, the better it's going to be. A few little tips of holding the high chair. Don't rest on the elbow. You want to rest on the tricep. So hopefully you can see this bit. Try to tuck my shirt in just to make it a little bit clearer for you guys. So high chair, this is on the elbow. You want to lift to here. So now most of my weight is over here. So it's really easy for me to just close. 3, 2, 1, close, okay? And it's really easy. I've done this one in a few tutorials, but yeah, it's so easy. I say that it's easy, and it's definitely worth learning, because going from here to that position is really cool. So in terms of the entrance, all I did was like a little knee rock. So from the front, I just went toe to knee, and then rolled straight into it. You can hold it for a second, or you can go straight into it. Use the momentum to go into what we call a chair roll. So just for clarity, a chair roll would be that, okay? That's a chair roll, but you just put your head down and you go straight into the high chair freeze. And then you complete the combo how I showed you.
Question of the day. What was the most difficult freeze for you starting out? Or if you are starting out, which is the most challenging for you at this point in time? So for me, it was chair freeze, without a shadow of a doubt. Chair freeze, couldn't do it. My back hurt, my shoulder hurt. I wasn't flexible in either position, which was the most challenging for me. I found learning my first flare much easier than learning my first chair freeze, which is crazy for some. Then again, maybe not that crazy, because there's like a good 3-4 guys in my crew that can't chair freeze properly. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I hope it was helpful for you. Subscribe if you are new, like the video if you did enjoy this video, share it with a friend who you think it might benefit, and if you would like to support the channel, there's ways that you can do so down in the description below. Guys, much love you lots. Have a great Friday. Stay fresh, stay clean. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.